What's up everyone, welcome back to LaceUp channel. My name is Mickey. In last week's video, we touched on how a customer is losing over $300,000 due to theft per year out of their warehouses. What better follow-up than to talk about how drivers are doing the same thing? So let's get right into it. There's only two ways that drivers can be stealing from your business. The first one is through the invoicing process, and the second one is they could be blatantly stealing product off the back of the truck. Now, this is super prevalent in industries where you allow the driver to actually visit customers on a route, on the fly, and invoice them off the truck. This is because they generate their own invoices. And when you give the driver the ability to generate their own invoices, what happens is you give them some flexibility to steal. Now, you'll see this a lot in customers that use carbon copy invoices even in 2023. The driver will make an identical copy of the invoices given to them by the company and invoice off the side under a different name. A very common process for drivers looking to steal, but most distributors are more savvy than that. Most distributors have a system in place. And the system is supposed to digitally allow the driver to make these invoices and track the inventory, but drivers still find a way to circumvent this. And they circumvent it as follows. They'll make the invoice when they walk into the customer, and then what they'll do is they'll void the invoice, create a second invoice with smaller quantities or with a discrepancy on price, and pocket the difference. Now, a good system will show you the first invoice that was created, the second invoice that was created, and the void. That way you're alerted every single time drivers are voiding, and the drivers that are stealing, they're voiding more often than the ones that are not. So get yourself a system that has the following report. What was created by the driver? The fact that it was voided, and then the second invoice, and that's a telltale sign that that driver is stealing from you. But that's not the only place that drivers can steal. Apart from being able to manipulate invoices, they can blatantly take product off the truck. And this is a big problem for customers of mine that actually have employees that run routes or operate in a different location and they ship them product. So you ship a driver X number of cases, and the driver, because you're not constantly checking their inventory, you don't know what they have left. So what they'll do is they'll receive that number of cases. Sure, they'll do their job with the majority of those cases, but they always take a couple cases off the top. Well, how do you count, or how do you catch this? If you have a paper-based system, it's quite simple. You're going to make that driver physically do an inventory count every single week or every single month. When they send you that inventory count, if you're tracking their inventory location in your QuickBooks, in your NetSuite, or your system of record, you should be able to apply that adjustment to that location, and that will generate shortages for the product that is missing. But if the driver's savvy, if the driver's really smart, they'll add back the product that they stole into those cycle counts and give you the correct count. And when you apply that count, what happens is, guess what? Everything matches and nothing is wrong. But what you'll find inevitably happens, you'll see those drivers continuing to order product that they presumably have on inventory. And that's where an internal auditor in your business is so important, because they should be paying attention to the orders from the drivers and what they have on the truck. And you should compare those two values, because if the driver's ordering another 100 cases of product X and you turn around to their inventory and they still have 100 cases left, well, that makes absolutely no sense, and that's a red flag for your business. Now, for drivers that do return back to the warehouse every single week or every single month, it's a lot easier, because a good system will allow you to do a blind cycle count on their truck. And when you walk up to the truck with a scanner and start looking for the product that's presumably there and it's missing, guess what? That driver is obviously stealing from your business. So the bottom line is, if you want to prevent your drivers from stealing, you need to not only have a system that tracks voids on transactions, but also you need to have a system that allows you to blind cycle count the driver. And that's if they return, because if they don't, then you're going to have to look out for the driver's order and compare that driver's order to what they physically have on inventory in your system. And if they continue to order the same product that they already have, that's a red flag. It's not rocket science to catch one of these drivers. If you care to do so, put someone in charge just to double check this inventory, to double check the orders, to look out for these voids. And I promise, theft on the truck will drop down to zero. I don't have any other thing to say. If you guys agree or disagree with this video, go down below to the comments. Tell me why you agree or disagree. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts, especially if you're in the DSD industry. Apart from that, go down below, give me a like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care.